Hey, welcome to Hear Us Out. I'm Paul.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're going to do another one of our rapid movie reviews. And today we're covering...
The Frighteners. Eep. Yep, so it's Tuesday, which means rapid review or trivia day. This time it's rapid review of Frighteners, which is, Paul, one of Michael J. Fox's greatest films that isn't a Back to the Future film.
Yes, it is.
Do you want to tell us what it is?
The synopsis is that Michael J. Fox plays the character Frank Bannister, who is a psychic medium. He uses his abilities to commune with 3 dead ghosts, who he also uses to con people out of money. While doing this, he comes across a weird number on one of his clients' heads that no one else can see, only the psychic medium can, which proceeds to a string of murders, which... dates back to some of the legends that were going on around the town, and Michael J. Fox and some of his friends have to defeat a crazy cultist FBI agent and some spooky, outer world paranormal murderers.
For those of you that have seen the film, know that's an amazing synopsis. For those of you that haven't seen it yet but watch it, will be like, Paul really nailed that synopsis. We were trying to decide which one of us would do it. I'm really glad you did it. That was impressive. So that is The Frighteners. Why is The Frighteners interesting? It was Michael J. Fox after Back to the Future. He wasn't doing huge numbers of films after Back to the Future. And this really does stand out as one of his last big hurrahs of that generation for him. And like you say, the subject matter is... This is all almost part of Spooktober still. I'm using Spooktober to make him happy. See, I brought it out in him. It's a genuinely scary film in spots, but it's still quite funny.
Yeah, it really is. It does do a balance of kind of funniness with spooky moments in it. The storyline's pretty interesting in the kind of way that it has the two worlds kind of facing off from each other.
Yeah.
As in, he has problems with people who don't believe him, who are also part of that world, and then also the afterworld itself fighting. Yeah. So I can understand in some people saying that the plot is a bit heavy, but yeah. I think all of the tropes, all the funniness and everything like that cuts through all of that kind of stuff. It really does kind of go along in a nice string.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, if we were watching this as a brand new film or it was back at the time, we might review it slightly more harshly than we are right now. But if you're going to look back at a movie, this is one of those movies that you can look back on fondly. I think it does what it does fairly well, and there aren't too many films like it. Importantly though, spoilers ahead for anybody who hasn't seen it and are planning on going to see it, or digging it out from the old archive, there is a great little mechanism. That number Paul mentioned on the head is the killer ghost that looks incredible. That's one of the great visual effects in it. There's a Grim Reaper type guy that shows up. And they're carving a number into each kill's head. So when they kill somebody, it's like, you're 18, the next person's 19. Yeah. And the little turn as to why they do that's actually quite nice, because you find out what's behind it all.
Yeah, that whole kind of reveal later on is quite good. Because originally it's just it's just the Grim Reaper or death that's taking out people, and it seems to be heavily covered around Frank Bannister or Michael J. Fox's character.
And you've had your spoilers, so I'm going to tell you who it is and what it is. It turns out to be Jake Busey, Gary Busey's son. Him and his crazy cohort, his Bonnie to his Clyde, are trying to get the biggest number of kills for a serial killer couple.
It's a kills in a row in one session of killing kind of thing. Jake Busey's character is a dead serial killer who used to work at a insane asylum. He went around the place shooting everybody. He got to number 12, but the record was someone else's who got 13 or 15 or something like that, and he was just Americans should have that record, so he comes back from the dead.
And how much does Jake Busey look like his dad, Gary Busey? Come on. So funny, interesting things about it. You're going to want to see it because it's Michael J. Fox and because it's great, and it's got some frights and it's got some comedy, but also it was interestingly made by Robert Zemeckis and co, who were part of the team. He was the producer behind Back to the Future and stuff as well. But Michael Jackson. Peter Jackson, not Michael Jackson. That changes the complex of this episode completely if Michael Jackson had made this movie. Peter Jackson is the director. And this was Peter Jackson before Lord of the Rings. Yeah. So before he was a household name. He was a name for people who are into movies. But this was before he was the Peter Jackson of New Zealand's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. He definitely was like, it was. He was more kind of into horror and kind of like, I guess, weirder stories. And then he nabbed the directorship of Lord of the Rings, and he did a great job.
Yeah, he did. So, why do you want to see it? You want to see it because you've got a great cast of characters as far as just little side bits. There's a cemetery.
Cemetery full of ghosts that are really interesting.
Yeah, and there's a drill sergeant.
Yeah, patrolled by the drill sergeant who keeps them in the ground.
And that drill sergeant is Orly Emery, so it's the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. It's the drill sergeant that everybody thinks of when you think of drill sergeant. It's actually him. He played the role. He reprised the role for that a little bit, which is great. It never ceases to make me smile.
Yeah, like the characters just go back. The characters are great. Living Dead. The villains are all great. Which is even the bumbling like sheriff is also quite nice and sweet in some ways. The visuals are great. Like the visuals are pretty good, and it's just a fun movie. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah. So we're putting this on our list for our throwback movies. This is one you shouldn't miss. You might have missed. It's famous enough that lots of people have seen it, but it's also in that category of a lot of you will have forgotten it. So some people will be like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, oh yeah, watch it again and have lots of fun. Good time of year, I'd say, if we get this out close enough to Halloween, because we'll see how the edits go. And on that note...
Well... with the comments,
yes.
We should. If you've seen the film, comment down below and let us know what you think. If you haven't seen it and then you see it because of this, comment down below and tell us what you think initially. And which goes, like, subscribe, and all that niceness. And don't forget that our main pieces are on Thursday, and our little short rapid reviews and trivia pieces are on Tuesday.
Paul's doing all the professional stuff. I'm liking it. So I'll do the outro then, and I will say I've been Patrick,
and I've been Paul,
and we've been Hear Us Out. Happy Spooktober, everyone.
Yes, he's finally getting to say it.
I did it for you.
Yay, Spooktober.